Greetings, Commander, and welcome to The Breach. In today's episode of X4 Foundation's 7.5 Beta Patch 5, I'm going to do three things. I'm going to take out Thunderchild for a anti-Xenon patrol, quickly show you where the station building is at the moment and how it's progressing, and finally we're going to advance the story some. I was lucky enough to spot a Xenon K and a Xenon I enter into Hatikavah's Choice, so I jumped straight into Thunderchild and I'm going to engage. I don't quite have the full firepower on the ship at the moment because I've dispatched the katana that I normally carry on this ship to do another mission for me, so I'm missing some flak turret anti-fighter firepower. I'll mainly be engaging capital ships, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I recently released an X4 Foundation's mini episode on why I chose Paranid Plasma and Argon Flak for Thunderchild. Somebody in the comments disagreed with my conclusion, and I'm happy with that because it was just an opinion piece. But because of the self-made restrictions I put on my mini episodes, I don't actually cover everything in depth. The commenter argued that the loss of 20 degrees of rotation speed a second was a detriment to the DPS, and I'm sure in the scenario he's thinking about that is true. I believe that the Odysseus Vanguard is better to engage targets at maximum range, so I don't need the increased turret rotation of Argon Plasma. I'm going to show you the way that I engage the Xenon. It's not the correct way, it's just my way, and if you do it differently, that's not a problem. This Branch 9 Destroyer I really does outclass the Odysseus Vanguard, but thankfully only on paper. The Vanguard only has 16 turrets versus the I's 40. The Xenon ship doesn't have any fixed forward firing weapons, and the 4 plasma over 3 turrets have longer range than the Xenon weapons. As you can see, I've opened fire with my main guns at 10 kilometer range, and I'm going to move into 9,500 meters so my large turrets can engage the Xenon. The Xenon K ignores me and moves in system towards the jump gates, which is a shame because adding a K could have been a bit spicy here. I'll hunt that Xenon down in a bit. I've closed the distance down to 7.5 kilometers, but this is as close as I'm going to get. I can now just plink away at the Xenon I with my main guns and my large turrets. Even if the Xenon ship decided to charge at me and get me into combat, instead of getting into a turn-based fight at speed, it would be better for me to burn away from the Xenon and re-engage at longer range. Although Egosoft keep trying to improve the AI for the enemy ships, I don't think it's there at the moment. I'm a capital ship within my weapons range. I'm a serious threat, but the Xenon ignores me just like he would if I was in a corvette or frigate, which is a shame because I would like to trigger some responses and have a good fight. It's really easy from now on. I just plink away at the Xenon's shields and then its hull. Where the AI is at the moment, I find that fighters and corvettes are more of a threat to my capital ships than enemy capital ships, if I'm driving them. As you can see here, I've closed in slightly with the Xenon I. I'm at 7,700 meters, but I have managed to chew through half of its shields. This is mainly due to the main guns, but the turrets have helped. The speed of the projectiles of the turrets has been invaluable to get those hits in as the Xenon I has boogied around in front of me. Well, the Xenon I get some small ship support, unfortunately not enough. The flak turrets easily get to deal with these two ships. The flak turrets completely ripped apart that Xenon. It's well worth upgrading all of them with the slasher mod. And in the couple of seconds it took to deal with the fighter and frigate, I'm cutting through the hull like a hot knife through butter. This Branch 9 Destroyer isn't going to last long. I do appreciate how they changed the explosions of the big capital ships now that you see lots of internal detonations followed by that big Star Wars-esque ring explosion. That's not something you'll get bored of easily. Well, 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 it looks like a Xenon K has stepped into my parlour. I believe it's time to feast. You'll notice that this K is travelling at 134 metres per second directly towards me, which could mean a stand-up fight. Today's episode has taken a lot longer to deal with than it normally does. I got a minor cold and I had a bunged up nose, which alters your voice, and then my bunged up nose turned into a runny nose, and that wasn't very good for talking either. Then a few days later, after I got rid of the cold, I ended up with a sore throat and couldn't talk, so kind of turned up 2 weeks without doing any work on this episode. So I'll apologise if my voice sounds different at different times in the video, but it takes me long enough to do these videos as it is, and I'm not going back to re-record everything. It has taken me that long to get this episode out that Egosoft have released 2 patches while I've been gone. These patches are getting smaller and smaller, which could mean that we're getting closer and closer to a release. Fingers crossed. The first patch release, Public Beta 5, which I missed, has 2 new features: Behaviour Inspection Mode and Velocity Indicator. I have no idea what this Behaviour Inspection Mode is, but we'll probably have a look at it at some later point, probably in the next video. Beta 6 added 1 new feature, which is the possibility to interact with interactive notifications while menus are open. I really hope that includes fleet handoff missions. As I've been yammering on, you can see that I've been ripping through the shields of this Xenon K, and I'm about to start on the hull. And the hull is not going to last long at all. Two wayward shots that fly straight past me, and the Xenon K is dead. Collect a little bit of the loot, and then we'll go and find that Xenon K that cruised right past us at the start. Well, there's the Xenon K. I've hit boost while the driver is spooling up, because it does take quite a bit of time. As the Xenon is heading away from me, I can drop out at around 10 kilometers and open fire at maximum range without worrying about getting too close. And as it's a K, even if it decides that I am the biggest threat on the battlefield, it'll take so long for it to turn around that I'll have already killed it before it gets a shot at me. On the 29th of January, Egosoft released their Public Beta 7 patch, and then the very next day they announced the Hyperion pack, which is now available to wishlist on the Steam store. They also released a teaser trailer on their YouTube page as well, so I'm looking forward to that because it's new content and it's the Hyperion. You never know, we might get lucky. If it does well, they might do the Spring Blossom, which would be my personal favourite ship. Egosoft have pushed this Hyperion pack as a mini DLC. So obviously the main focus of the pack is the legendary Hyperion expedition ship, which has a new mission change to discover and unlock the Hyperion, a new game start which will immediately give you access to the Hyperion, which I'll probably be looking at as a special when it releases, a brand new sector to explore, which I'm going to guess is related to the Hyperion because it's an expedition ship, and some more new music, which always seems to be underrated, but Egosoft music is quite good. The X4 version of the Hyperion will be classed as a large ship, but the ship itself is only slightly larger than a frigate. It's designated an L-class ship because of the equipment that it's going to be mounting. The L-class shields and engines will give it superior durability and manoeuvrability. It has 6 forward-firing main guns, and from what I can see from the trailer, 4 top-mounted medium turrets and 4 bottom-mounted medium turrets. The trailer showed these turret points being occupied by missile launchers, which obviously makes sense with the enhanced missile capacity of the Hyperion. which kind of makes sense because in X3 the missiles were super powerful, but I've never found the same in X4. So we'll wait to see if that's going to be hard-coded that you can only put missile launchers on the turret points of the Paranid Hyperion. The ship will come with a single docking bay with a hangar for 2 S-class ships. The special feature of this dock will be the ability to repair and resupply the ships that are docked, which is an interesting new feature. The ship is also designed to have an above average cargo capacity for a combat ship and a larger crew capacity for boarding operations. They really are trying to make this your own personal space yacht. So you could say I'm a little bit hyped for this new mini DLC. I'm very sorry. Another Xenon K snuck into the sector, but I shall quite quickly deal with this. Hopefully I've demonstrated well enough that you do not need the extra turret rotation speed of the Argon over the faster flying plasma bolts from the Paranid turrets. But as I've said, that is just my opinion. So I'm very happy with the way that the Thunderchild works in combat. Having both the Paranid turrets and the Argon flak turrets fully upgraded, including the slasher mod, really does make this a ship to be reckoned with in the hands of a human. But we don't have this ship fully upgraded at the moment. There's other things that I want to do to make it even more deadly in combat, and that will come about in future episodes. But for now I'll destroy this descendant of ChatGPT, and then we'll look at how the stations are coming along and what I've built. The Hatikavah patrol worked out very well. For me anyway, not so well for the Xenon capital ships. Previously I showed you that I built 4 major factories. 2 for processing raw materials and 2 for changing these raw materials into final products. These end products could be fed back into the system to build even bigger factories. This is the end product Claytronics factory. I've added 3 more Claytronics factories and a solar power plant. And for future plans I've added 2 advanced electronics factories. This will help when I'm building factories for different factions. You can see on the build list I'm coming up short on advanced composites and plasma conductors. And here is the gas refinery. You can already see that it's undergone massive expansion. But at present I'm building 3 quantum tubes, 2 large argon storage units and 2 solar power plants. Previously I've also built an 8M docking pad to improve the speed that ships dock. Presently I have no building shortages for this factory. Looking at the logical overview for the station, the gas storage is maxed out at the moment, but more importantly the intermediate storage is also maxed out as well. So that's why I'm adding more container storage. Once I've worked through the backlog for the Claytronics factory, I will add more factories here. More quantum tubes and plasma conductors. On the hull parts factory, I'm adding 4 more hull parts, 4 advanced composites, 1 solar power plant. I'm also adding an 8M docking pad, and for future plans I'm adding 2 engine parts factories. I also have a shortage of plasma conductors for this factory as well. And now we move over to the logical overview for the factory. You can see I'm quite low on storage for graphene. And if we click and look at the drop down menu, You can see that I've got numerous transporters and one freighter coming to resupply. This will be something I keep my eye on to make sure that it doesn't become a bottleneck. If we look at the end products, I do seem to have plenty in stock, but once I've added the engine parts factory, I'll probably want to add more container storage. And the final factory on this tour is the ore processing plant. If you recall from my original build, I didn't like how I designed this one. I haven't rectified that mistake, I've just started a second level in a more logical fashion for my brain. It has been expanded quite a bit since you last saw it, and at the moment it's adding 2 new silicon plants and 2 microchip plants. As you can tell from that little notification, the build menu is being supplied by my own factories. Everything is working as planned. Looking at the logical overview for the ore processing plants, you can see that I'm short on both ore and silicon. I can sort that problem out easily by doing either missions to earn a miner or buying miners. Once I've acquired more miners, I will probably want to add some more container storage before I add any more end product production fabs. The economy side of my playthrough is coming along rather nicely, so it's time to advance the storyline. So we've come to the mission portion of the episode, and we're going to decide the fate of the Yaki. We are going to do this the hard way. We're going to destroy the Yaki super weapon, which is their special station in Xenon space. It's been a long time since I've done this mission. I remember taking a few attempts before I got it right, but I do recall that I need a lot of laser towers.
Katana.
Sir?
The Terran Katana with the cover mechanism will help me get through all the Xenon sectors. I really don't want all the Xenon fleet trying to destroy me while I'm trying to sort out the Yaki station. There's enough of them as it is. With the magic of editing, we cut down on the travel time.
Entering system. Savage Spur.
Good to have you back. Now I'll make my way over to you.
That's the Xenon Yaki station, the amplifier that we'll have to destroy while defending ourselves from other ships. To aid with the deploying of the laser towers, I've made sure that I have a key dedicated to the deployment of said laser towers, which is great because I've got about 100 of them to deploy. Well, that has definitely rattled the hornet's nest and called in their reinforcements.
Yaki don't like this one. Here we come.
Hey, will you stop firing?
Get lost.
The Xenon ships are very brutal and I will have to run away continuously during this mission. I'm very glad I'm packing Terran Mark III shields on this ship.
Cover available.
And another great thing is I can boost away without using my precious shields as well.
Eat an asteroid. Eat an asteroid.
The laser towers have caught some of the attention of the Xenon. I have some Xenon attention as well and I'm leading them on a merry chase, but I am slowly thinning the herd. This will eventually allow me to take some time to actually put some pot shots into that Xenon station. But if I'm sat still for too long or don't take special attention to the Xenon that's attacking me, they will rip through me very quickly.
I've got you now. Not bad for a machine,
Corral coming.
Why are you shooting me?
not much of a pilot, are you?
Not a bad aim for a machine.
Happy got you now.
I'll wipe you out.
I was asked to drop my cargo. Awaiting orders.
Amplifier station.
That was a Yaki Kurakami completely shredding all my shields. So it might look like I'm dancing around doing nothing, but there is a very good reason for that. If I'm caught flat-footed, it's straight back to the loading screen. And as you can guess, the start of the mission again. So I'm more than happy to do a Sir Robin manoeuvre and bravely run away.
Eat an asteroid. I was asked to drop. Awaiting orders.
Any progress to show for the relay station hack? Did you get your hands on anything useful yet?
Hello, coming.
Eat an asteroid.
Shut the sun down.
Well, I took a lot more damage there than I wanted to. I was too busy trying to get a little bit of damage on the station.
M.
Try a bit harder. Really shouldn't have done that.
Well, that's me down to 50% hull and no shields. This isn't as going as well as I'd hoped.
I've got you now.
cooked.
Try a bit harder.
Really shouldn't have done that. I'll make sure you regret that.
You're cooked.
Try a bit harder.
You may live to regret that.
Eat an asteroid.
Try again.
Eat an asteroid.
You're going to get it now. That was a bad move.
As you can see, another Kurakami being absolutely lethal to my shields and taking a little bit out of my hull as well.
You're not much of a pilot, are you?
You're going to get it now. This is not good. Hey, will you stop firing?
Cannon got killed.
I'll make sure you regret that.
I've got you in my sights.
Well, now if I mess up, at least I've got a save point to go back to.
Eat an asteroid.
I'll make sure you regret that.
Where's my shields?
Try a bit harder.
You're cooked. Shouldn't have done that. Too much.
That was a really silly thing to do. Have to try harder than that. Eat an asteroid. Try a bit harder.
Danger.
First node destroyed, 2 more to go.
That was a really silly thing to do.
got you in my sights.
Mission completed, time to run away.
Get out of the system now, or I can't assure your safety.
You're not much of a pilot, are you?
That wasn't exactly unexpected. Let's see if we can get her to talk to us. Organic! Organic, are you there? We don't have to part like this!
What do you want? I've got every single Yaki hardliner banging at my door, demanding my head because of you! Oh! Glad that I have to cut you down.
Yeah, we're very sorry about that, but you didn't honestly expect a plan like that to work, did you? Listen, you've got to understand that this entire project was bound to fail. All it did was keep you holed up in your system, with no bright spot to light up your miserable existence. You put a gun to the gate network's head and expected no pushback?
You have no idea what you're talking about. Do you think that taking away the best protection we had against the Terran Scourge would somehow give us hope? How delusional can you be? You know your people best. No threat short of a total annihilation would keep them from scouring the entire gate network to subjugate or eradicate everyone who dares to oppose them.
No! You got it backwards. Can't you see that? If they learned of a threat like the one we just wiped out, they'd have had no choice but to retaliate. Now, there's at least some chance of a peaceful solution. We only have to talk to the right people.
As if that's going to happen. The moment you step back into their ranks, you're going to tell them that we're here and that we're vulnerable. And then your dutiful superiors are going to suspend you, lock you up, put you under surveillance. You're an abomination now, just like us. It's time for you to face reality. You have nowhere to go. Make your choice. I'm done with you.
That hit far too close to home. She's right. I can't show myself. You'll have to be our envoy. There's no time to waste. Go and make the right decision. I trust your instincts.
We've found something out here.
Docking not possible.
Oops, I better call on the geometric owl.
Hello there.
Morea.
Well, look at that, a car station in the background.
Docking granted. Successfully docked.
Sir. Excellent work so far, Agent. First things first, take this. It is a forged Sandwell Archive Pass. You'll need it to access the planetary database once you're inside the server room. Now, how you will gain entry to that room in the first place is another matter. A matter for which I have asked our associate here to join us. The Scale Plate-Packed fleet will provide us with a diversion.
My fleet will stage a raid against the station. When they inevitably refuse to surrender, we will launch a full-scale attack.
Yes, Antigone Security will have their hands full. Once the fighting starts, you should be able to gain entry easily. All of their Marines should be otherwise engaged.
One more thing. When your subordinate here approaches the station, we cannot simply turn a blind eye to that ship. It would be a shame if we blow our cover, and our little ruse falls apart just because we did not take action. In order to really sell this, I have ordered my fleet to shoot down anything trying to pass. They are unaware of our little arrangement, so do not expect any mercy.
Good. Then it's agreed. Agent, set up in close proximity to the station and wait for the diversion to commence. Good luck, gentlemen. So, what's the status of the investigation? Excellent. Then tell me, are these Yaki an organized threat to the Protectorate? Do they have a base of operations that we can target? I see. That conclusion does match our observations. These pirates behave far too erratically. In that case, I will attempt to sway intervention to tone down their war preparations and instead get an anti-pirate task force underway. Again, excellent work, Operative. You've done Saul a great service. My only regret is that we haven't found out what happened to Cadet Shinneman.
Well, here's hoping you made the right choice, eh? Whew, you better make your way back to the Yaki headquarters and tell Organic the good news.
Another thing, Operative. Intervention let me know that the ship that's been anchoring in front of our headquarters is not actually an attempt at intimidation, but simply a decommissioned heap of scrap. It may require a few finishing touches to become fully functional again, but I'm sure you can make use of it. I'll transmit the ship's location to you. Consider it a reward for your efforts.
Morea.
So here we have our major reward for the Yaki missions, a Syn Destroyer. We are just going to claim this ship. We will probably look at it at a later date. It is a very fine looking ship, but obviously that's just my opinion.
Korea.
Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the other side.